My girlfriend, 22F, secretly thinks I'm 25M, ugly. How do I go forward? I'm going to try to make a long story short. I found texts from my girlfriend to her best friend sent about a week before we officially became partners. She told her that I was going to come over that night, to which her friend said that's nice. My girlfriend replied, yeah, but he's ugly, so I just want to fuck him and not look at his face, lol. Her friend replied with laughing emojis, to which my girlfriend then said, gonna do doggy so I don't have to look at his face, rolling on the floor laughing. We have since been dating for a year and a half. I can't help to think if roles were reversed and she found texts like this with one of my friends, she would be absolutely devastated and heartbroken. This has left me shocked and confused for the last couple days. I don't know why she would date me this long if that's how she feels. I feel like she settled for me because of how well I treat her. She comes from a low-income family and I've treated her better than she ever has been before. I'm the type of person who genuinely doesn't care what people think of me. I know exactly who and what I am and I'm very comfortable and confident with myself. I'm no Ryan Gosling, but saying I'm so ugly you don't want to look at my face is definitely a stretch. Since then I've been questioning a lot of things about our relationship I otherwise wouldn't be. She almost never initiates sex, and when we do, it's almost always doggy. I've spent a lot of time with this friend, gone out of my way to do favors for her, and to know how she spoke about me to her makes me feel humiliated. God knows what else she had said about me. I wanted to ask how I should handle this. I'm not sure if I can continue seeing her. I'm incredibly humiliated about this and I'm hesitant to speak to people in my life about this. Thank you in advance. Imagine the roles were reversed, she would have broken up immediately. I'd break up over this. It's kind of the trope on here to say break up, but honestly, it'd break up. Why would you want to be with someone who doesn't respect you like that? You deserve to feel attractive. It's not just lack of attraction, it's entirely a lack of respect. I couldn't continue in that circumstance and you deserve better. Personally, I wouldn't be with someone that doesn't find me attractive. Your personality is attractive and the way you treat her makes her like you, but on a sexual level clearly she doesn't think so. Like you said, reverse the role, and she wouldn't like it if you stayed with her but didn't find her attractive. That would really knock her self-esteem, so it was harsh what she said. I am not gonna say fuck her and break up, I'd say talk to her and go from there. My guy, I also don't care about what people think and my ego has all but shriveled away. So trust me when I say that everyone needs just a little bit of an ego. We need, on a very basic level, to care about what other people think. It stops people from staying in a relationship with someone who think they're ugly and makes jokes about them behind their back. My 34F husband, 32M of 9 years, said I'm too loose for him to finish. What do I do? My 34F husband, 32M, and I have been married for 9 years. Last night he told me he can't finish because I'm too loose. We have 2 kids under 7 together, both born via C-section, so they haven't changed me down there. My husband has struggled to cross the finish line for reasons. No stress, we can adapt and work through this, change things around. Although our intimate time had turned into an endurance race, he finally made it to the finish line. Last night he didn't get there. He then proceeded to look at me and say, you need start doing your Kegel exercises again. I glared at him, trying to process what he just said to me. After 9 years, he comes out with that. It really hurt and really gave me the ick, not just towards him, but I have the ick for me too. I know communication is important and there's no easy way to bring this up, but I can't help but feel repulsed within myself. He never compliments me and there's not much of a connection between us, albeit we're working through it in therapy. I'm not the most pretty and fit person, but I know I'm not unattractive or overweight either, and take care of myself the best I can between running a business which brings in the most income and being a mom. He works too and does his fair share, but does not take care or pride of his appearance or hygiene at all. I don't know if I can get over this. He hasn't said a thing to me all day and he knows how upset it made me. Has anyone worked through such repulsion? Our anniversary is in a couple of days, loudly crying. Maybe he's just used to jacking it with a death grip on his dick and that's why he can't get off normally now. You will always lose in a competition with his hand. He's projecting. My ex told me it was like throwing a hot dog down a hallway. I went to my GYN and told her. She examined me, said I am totally fine, and the next partner never had an issue. He's projecting because of his insecurity. He's an asshole for saying that to you, as if there's something wrong with you and that it's your fault. Tell him to go kick rocks. Sounds to me like he has some ed issues and is taking it out on you. Or a porn problem and a masturbation death grip. Either way, fuck that. The way he spoke to you is so disrespectful and I may be rethinking my entire marriage after that comment. Tell him he's too small and he should work on his girth. This is a him problem, not a you problem, but he's clearly deflecting and you're taking it on board. Please don't. His comment is gross. I think you need to let him know how you feel and talk about what's going on and how you can work it out together. However, I feel like that's not going to be an easy conversation with him. God forbid he has to question his manhood. He needs to get over that and stop blaming you. You deserve better. I, 31F, am pregnant but husband, 31M, doesn't want it. How do I handle this? I, 31F, am 31 weeks pregnant, and my husband, 31M, does not want it. I have been told since I was 13 that I could not have children. So when I got the news about being pregnant, it was surprising to me because it was unexpected. I have PCOS and type 2 diabetes, so I definitely was unplanned. We have been together for 14 years and never got pregnant until now. However, at first, I thought about an abortion but I just couldn't go through with it. From the start, I told my husband that I was not forcing the pregnancy on him and that he was free to choose on how to proceed. I had always wanted to be a mother, but I had come to terms with being childless. So, my husband has definitely been struggling with the idea of being a parent. He is stressed and feeling forced to stick with my decision. However, I haven't forced him to. On some days, he talks to my baby in my womb, and other days, he is distant. It's kinda hard to tell which mood he is in sometimes. Now that I am 31 weeks, he is saying he doesn't want this, and I am definitely struggling because I gave him many opportunities to not be a part of this. I definitely wanted to know earlier if he wasn't gonna be a part of it, so I can plan without him, but time is definitely running out. And I'm due in 8 weeks due to induction, so what should I do? I definitely want my baby, but I don't want to tell my husband to man up and stick to it because it's the worst thing to tell a guy who doesn't want to be a father. At this point, it's too late to abort, and his options are to divorce you and pay child support or get into therapy and work through his feelings about unexpected parenthood and be your partner and a good co-parent. I'd prepare by moving closer to your family or support system before giving birth. My husband didn't speak to me for months after I got pregnant. I stayed for years and he treated me like I was nothing but an obligation. I'm divorced. He can walk, but he would still have to pay child support. Sit down with him and ask if he wants a divorce or if he wants to be a dad. Go from there. What kind and who are these doctors that are telling 13-year-old kids that they'll never have kids unless they've had a complete hysterectomy? This is quite common here on Reddit. Sometimes I just think people are diagnosing themselves, having unprotected sex, not using contraceptives and not getting pregnant, so they just conclude they're sterile. Honestly, if you force your husband to raise a child he doesn't want, he's going to resent that baby. If the baby isn't going to be treated with love, like they are wanted, I wouldn't want the baby around the man or woman that doesn't want the child. In my opinion, sit your husband down, tell him that while you love him, you're determined to be a mother. Be prepared to leave because honestly, the baby deserves only love and kindness. They don't need to be damaged by a parent that doesn't want them. My 27 female husband, 25 male, brought up threesomes and it is eating me alive. How do I navigate this? For some context, we had been struggling for a really long time when it came to our sex life for almost 2 years now. Just recently we finally have had some improvement and it has been super active as of lately, but now my husband brings up more casual sex and trying things with other people. I can't tell if I'm completely against the idea or if I'm just so insecure and have so much past trauma that this is bothering every waking moment of my life since it's been brought up. I don't know what to do about it, and every time I talk to him about it I only feel better for a couple hours tops and then it starts eating me alive again. I think I'm not completely against it, but sex is a lot more intimate thing to me than it is to him. Any suggestions other than the obvious of talking to him would be greatly appreciated, because I obviously will, but I need help with more internal issues. What's the best way to navigate this? Is there any suggestions to self-help or something? Edit. I am not looking for advice on if I should leave the relationship or what your opinions on our relationship is. I'm looking for insight on maybe taking steps forward to be able to talk about this and to help me understand and communicate my insecurities. Thanks. Not completely against it is not a good enough endorsement to try it. You should only consider adding another person if you both are enthusiastic about it. Tell him when you find another man you're interested in, you'll let him know. You're going to see your husband blowing out another girl's back 3 inches from you and you are going to become the most depressed person I've ever seen. Adding casual sex to a previous closed relationship does not improve things. But maybe it will work for us. I had an ex do this. I told him when I find a man I'm interested in I'll let him know. He never brought it up again. Seeing how jealous you were 15 days ago just that he has female friends, I think the last thing you need is to open the marriage. Since you are HL and he is LL, this tells me that he really just doesn't want to have sex with you. You both need therapy, but judging from your previous posts you need to ditch this guy. He sounds manipulative.